All right, everybody, this is my homemade DNA replication model. So I want to show a couple of things before I get started with how DNA replication works. First of all, notice that I've got two markers here going in opposite directions, demonstrating that DNA is anti-parallel. These things in the middle here represent the rungs of my ladder. Those are going to be my nitrogen bases. So this is my sugar and phosphate group backbone, and these are my nitrogen bases. I did make a little key, so I figured out which ones are adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. But for your purposes, it's just important for you to pay attention to who is matching up with whom here. So first step of DNA replication, we have to break the hydrogen bonds that exist between those nitrogen bases. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull apart my strands of DNA. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit more distance than that. All right, now, as you know, DNA replicates semi-conservatively. So what that means is new nucleotides are going to form right after the old strands separate. And so we can use this side as a template. So I know what goes with my thymine here is an adenine. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that on. Okay, and I know what goes with my guanine here is a cytosine, so I'm also going to add that on there. I'm going to do the same thing with the other ones. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing with this side of my DNA, but first I want to make sure that I have added my sugar and phosphate group. Of course, this nucleotide would be adding a little bit of backbone at a time, but that's just one of the limitations of this particular model. So again, we're gonna go ahead, what goes with this one is gonna be this one, what goes with this one is gonna be this one, and then what goes with this is going to be, let's not have a mutation here. Gotta make sure my DNA replication's accurate. Goes there, and then one of these, and of course my backbone as well. Whoop. That is not a mutation, that's just, I don't even know what you call that. All right, and so now I have two identical strands of DNA, and I do just want to go over a couple of limitations real quick. So a couple of limitations of this particular model that I have would be that these DNA strands are not three-dimensional. There are no hydrogen bonds that are holding together these nitrogen bases of the nucleotides. Another limitation is that the backbones should actually be identical. So I only had a couple of black markers. Ideally, they would all be the same colored marker. And then also, this is representing two pieces of a nucleotide, both the sugar and the phosphate group. Ideally, what you would have would be three different things connected together representing one nucleotide, but I think this simplifies the process of that DNA replication. And then I also just will point out for those of you who maybe didn't notice in my organization of this, that I do have like one slightly smaller, what I am calling guanine in this case, because I just didn't have enough of those. And then also, if I'm looking more carefully at how this is organized, you can kind of see how most of these little things here, these are supposed to be my cytosines. This side is pointing inward, but I accidentally put this one outward, so I'm going to fix that. That's just a limitation of this model. Well, actually, that was more of just my error. All right, I'm looking forward to seeing what you all create with your DNA replication videos.